Wake up, sundown, creatures and gods around. Beware, prepare, it's dangerous, they'll linger in the dark. Climb from below, temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms, what is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God, and the best come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife, what was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings, find your destiny in the metric and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. I already see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. Yeah. I'll gladly give my life. All my people in my kingdom point the way. Death is small, price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher the highest height and the lower the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know what's next.
Alarms, hear the voice of God, and the best come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife, what was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings, find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind.
My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden, I have been chosen. My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden, I have been chosen.
Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings, find your destiny in the metric and the omen of the mind. Wake up, sundown, creatures and gods around. Beware, prepare, it's dangerous, they'll linger in the dark. Climb from below, temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms, what is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God, and the best come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife, what was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings, find your destiny in the metric and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. I already see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. Yeah. I'll gladly give my life. All my people in my kingdom point the way. Death is small, price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher the highest height and the lower the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know what's next.
Alarms, hear the voice of God, and the best come to your sacred land.
All right, so introduce your name, what team you're on, the kingdom you're in, and what realm you're from.
Yeah, I'm Fish. I'm player, migration leader, and nerf lover of 1960. I'm playing in 60 GT in Anubis stream. I'm a main player and I'm playing mostly an open field focused role in the team.
Hi, my name is Night King. I'm leading BLN and I'm from 365 Kingdom of Sura.
My name is Bug and my team is 89 VC. We're from the Kingdom 2489 and we are in Bastet. Right?
Hey guys, what's going on? I go by the name Black Panther. I'm from Kingdom 2268 of Alliance SV68. I'm currently in Realm of Anubis.
Hey, we're Baby Raccoon and Choppy, leading Sobek Real Team, Galax Ltd in Kingdom 2949.
My name is Cortex, I'm the leader of SW in Kingdom 2605 in the realm of Bastet.
I'm Khan, I'm the king of K79. Our team is S79, which is a combined of all of like our best players in the realm. It's not just one alliance. Our kingdom is 1079, and we are part of the oldest realm of Osiris, so we've been here from the start.
What are your initial thoughts to the new Ark of Osiris changes with Raging Sands modes being introduced?
So originally my thoughts were I wasn't sure like how I was going to like it or not, but I have to say after playing several matches, I really do like it, and I think it adds a lot of tactical plans that you couldn't do when everyone could see the entire map.
I like it. I really like the graphic and I really like the new skills. And then does the fog make it a little bit more challenging? I mean, I like the changing.
Well, I like the changes a lot. I think the fog makes stuff a lot more interesting. Strategies become a lot more unpredictable and surprise victories seem a little bit more likely in the season.
What do you want to say to your opponents?
We're coming. Winter's coming. Yeah, good luck to everybody. Hope everybody enjoys it. And I'm looking forward to meet some of these teams with a new mode.
Yeah, I better lose.
We're still a very young team, but everyone's been doing extremely well, and we have a very good group. You should not underestimate us, and we'll definitely show what we're made of this a while.
Go easy on us. Come on now. We're all friends here. But be ready for the challenges.
I want to say congratulations first off. They obviously had to work incredibly hard to get here. No one's in the top 32 that isn't a good team, even if, you know, some bad luck before. And, you know, I hope we have a good match when we play you.
To my opponents, I guess I'll just say good luck and have fun.
As you made it to playoffs, this is where it gets serious. We will do our best to perform as good as we can, and we hope you guys give us the return. Let's see some very competitive matches, show the other kingdoms what the upcoming ones can do and are capable of. Let's have a good time.
Hello, governors. Welcome to Osiris League Season 7 Top 32 Group Stage Week 3. I'm your host, Plato Gaming, content creator and caster for Rise of Kingdoms, and in today's match we'll be spectating CPLW from Kingdom 2386 versus K244 from Kingdom 2244. So, both teams have been dominating the group stage so far, being up 2-0 in the group, meaning that whoever wins this match will be a lock for the first seed of the group, and whoever loses will be the second seed. But seeding is going to be very, very important, because if you're a first seed, then you practically skip some of the top teams inside of the realm of Anubis, which is where this match is going to be played. So you definitely want to win this match so that you have an easier path towards your playoff run. So K244 are the betting favorites for this matchup, as they have 5 billion power compared to CPLW's 3.1 billion. And they are also finalists in Osiris League last year, losing to the eventual champions GV77. So, but CPLW were also in the playoffs last year, losing in the first round. But both of these teams look rather evenly matched. And it should be a very interesting and good game that we have in our hands here. I'm super excited to cast it. And yeah, let's see how this match goes. So let us go into the game real quick here. Yeah, the realm of Anubis is actually, they have a lot of contenders here, and K244 is seen as one of those top contenders, especially since, you know, they were also in the finals of last season. So it'll be very interesting to see if they're in form for this season, if they'll be able to make it back to the finals, because this group is going to be very, very tough, because of the amount of players and the amount of teams that are in this realm, such as 60GT, WIB, etc., etc. So let me get into the game here. There you go. And then let's switch the scenes. There you go. We are in game. As I said, K244 are the betting favorites here at 67.9%, while we have CPLW being at 32.1%. So they are still, like, it's not that lopsided, and I think it's going to be a pretty close match here, because K244, with all the power that they have, and also the pedigree of being a finalist team from last season, the fact that it's this close and people believe in CPLW means that they've probably been doing pretty well in their matches. K244, they both versed, these two teams have both versed the two other teams inside of this group. K244 has been winning the games by a wider margin, but the games for CPLW haven't been close either. So yeah, it'll be really, really interesting to see their openings, the sentry placements, and all those kinds of things. Let's go look at the power here. We got 400 million, 100 million, 85 million, 86 million, 82 million, 110 million, 78 million. Okay. So it looks like some of their players here are not at 100 million. Let's check CPLW on the other side. Okay, so it looks like both teams have some players that are below that 100 million threshold. So I'm expecting a lot of healings from both sides, just to make sure that they could continuously fill with those T5 marches, and that they don't have to use any T4, as the game is going to be starting in 15 seconds. I think the opening is going to be very, very important. The biggest thing to watch out for is going to be these Desert Altar fights, and to see who is able to hold their Desert Altar for the first cap, who is able to get those building points running as fast as possible. And then that first arc, in terms of controlling the tempo of the game, is going to be really important too. And here we go. The game has started. Gates are down. We got the T1 marches, the double C's running straight out of the gates. I believe this is double C, and is that a Minamoto I see? So we got some double C's on the K244 side. CPLW also got the double C as well, running as fast as possible to these obelisks, making sure that they have, oh wow, a very early sentry placement here from K244, straight right in front of CPLW's gates. I'm going to be pretty curious where CPLW puts theirs. And yeah, this is a more normal, I guess the more popular sentry location right in front of the opponent's Shrine of War. What this allows you to do is it allows you to see the amount of marches walking towards your Desert Altar, so you could kind of respond with the same amount of pressure, same amount of marches, and know how many resources to allocate there. And the first obelisk has been tapped by CPLW. We'll have to see if those extra seconds of teleport time are actually consequential to this game. We actually have some, the marches are going to the outposts here. And yeah, the obelisk cap over here is actually a couple seconds behind. It's actually a couple seconds behind. But they actually captured the second obelisk before CPLW did. We'll have to see, because Osiris League and Arc of Osiris is a game of seconds. So maybe those teleport times and being able to teleport as soon as possible may play a factor in this game here. As we see, they are starting to walk towards their own Desert Altar and towards the opponent Desert Altar. This is where the first action of the games usually happen for Osiris League. We have a lot of double C's, a lot of the cavalry marches here. I'm going to be pretty curious to see if we see any of the new commander, Hua Qubing and Justinian. I believe they are available for Osiris League. There we go. We see HQ. I'm going to call him HQ, Hua Qubing, available here. and it's going to be pretty interesting to see if we'll see more of those commanders, and if the rally, specifically the Cav rally meta, will change and shift from Attila Takeda to some form of Justinian here. And as we see, there is a lot of K244 walking up to this obelisk. It looks like they're trying to fight for the obelisk instead of the desert altar here. Going to be really, really curious to see how CPLW responds to this. They do have some marches around here. It looks like they kind of knew that K244 likes to go for these obelisks because they're not even walking to their own desert altar. There's a lot of marches here going towards the obelisk. So this was a play that they know about, the play that they've read. They know that they're going to send a lot of double C's to this obelisk here. It looks like they had this scouted. So we'll have to see how this obelisk rally holds. It is only a Nevsky in there. There is not a garrison. There is not a garrison inside of this obelisk right now. Only a Nevsky, and they are swarming down this rally. It is a Nevsky with Joan. We'll have to see if these marches will be able to reinforce this rally, and it looks like this rally is going to get swarmed down here. Really, really, really good defense, good hold by CPLW. They were 100% prepared for this push to the obelisk from K244. Because look how many marches were here, and look how many resources were allocated to hold this obelisk. It looks like most of the K244 marches are wiped. We'll have to see if they will be able to rotate to their desert altar in time. 48 seconds left before the desert altar opens, and it looks like K244 actually have the numbers advantage around this desert altar due to the fact that CPLW had to hold their obelisk on the top here. So we'll have to see if they will be able to rotate in time before this desert altar opens. 29 seconds, 28 seconds left. Dust up used by CPLW. Early skill here, looking to take advantage of this open field. Try to get control back of their desert altar. Let's check the desert altar in the bottom side. It looks like K244 was able to negate the push here from CPLW, where it was able to repel the push rather. 5, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. From this point, if you are CPLW, you just want to get into this structure as fast as possible. Let's see who gets in there. CPLW does first tap, Nevsky in the garrison, but they just want to make sure that they have the structure as fast as possible. They have the ability to fill that structure, although it looks like this Nevsky is getting low. Let's see if they will be able to fill this Nevsky. It looks like the structure has fallen to K244 here. However, CPLW was able to hold their obelisk, so they should be able to teleport pretty soon, and it looks like they have some teleport spots in, allowing them to reinforce this structure as soon as possible. Get some open field marches in here. It looks like they do have some people walking in, and they will be able to hold their desert altar. We'll have to see if K244 continues to send people towards his desert altar, continues to pressure it, or if they decide to rotate to the mid lane. Hidden sentry used by CPLW in the mid lane just to see if they have some people mid in the near future. It looks like K244 still has control of this desert altar here. Most of their open field marches look like they are yeah, it looks like they're streaming some marches still. They have some double C's walking in here. They have a Guan walking in here. So it looks like they're still trying to contest this, but there are a lot of CPLW marches here. And of course they do have... Are they still trying for this? I think they're trying to reset their marches here onto the obelisk. But yeah, this K244 is punishing this desert altar here, just continuously sending pressure, making sure that they can't get first cap before the arc spawns, and then CPLW will be faced with a hard choice. Do we continue to defend this desert altar, put resources here, and kind of give up some mid pressure so that we can get this first cap, or do we start rotating early so that we can get that Ark of Osiris control and kind of gain tempo of the game here? As we see, Tariq Pakal rally still being used in Osiris League. This, I believe, going to the K244 shrine. Let's go check this shrine that is being contested by K244. It looks like the healthy marches are rotating mid, and the damaged marches are trying to reset themselves on the shrine here. And look, we do have the early rotation from K244, so they were able to contest these structures, and they're still contesting the desert altar, which is huge for them. They're going to be seeing that point differential soon as the first cap of these structures starts to tip over. We'll have to see the points per minute right now because the structures were not first capped yet, as we can tell from the desert altar. But in about 10 seconds, we will see the points start going towards K244's favor because they were able to contest these CPLW structures. And there we go, 3.1k points going to K244, with more points coming on the way with 450 points per minute in the structure game compared to 923 points from CPLW. This early start from K244 is looking very, very strong, as they are still contesting this desert altar here. They're still first points, I believe 750 first points for the first capture, I mean, for this desert altar up for grabs. So this is something CPLW does not want to give up. It is something that K244 can continue to pressure, allowing for them to have this mid control here, having first rotation from their structures, because their structures were not as contested and they had the tempo advantage early. They were able to use that tempo advantage and get this mid positioning near the Temple of Osiris, having this positioning here. Although CPLW does know that there are marches here, so they are starting to rotate their marches over here. But it is going to be a very, very, very it's going to be very advantage for K244 because they were able to rotate first. Some of these marches taking about a minute and a half to start walking over and get to this mid fight, while K244 looks like they have the numbers right now. So CPLW will probably have to back up here. I like the K244 positioning here, taking this aggressive positioning, making sure that they are between CPLW and the Temple of Osiris and the Ark of Osiris. As we look at the structure game here, 450 points to 210 points. CPLW does have control of their desert altar, but they do not have control of their sky altar. And actually, if we look at this, 40 seconds left on the sky altar, I'm kind of curious to see if they got their first points here, or if this is going to be extra first points for K244. They do have a Zenobia garrison. Zenobia, I believe, Heraclius, yeah, that's Heraclius. So a lot of AoE. CPLW is trying to swarm down the structure, so maybe they do not have the first points here because they're contesting this very heavily. But this Zenobia is staying alive, staying very, very healthy here. Let's check back to the mid fight. Yeah, it looks like they are just mounting up. They're just getting their troops here together, and it does look like CPLW was able to recover and get a lot of troops here. However, you might remember that they did use dust up earlier during the desert altar fights. So because they used dust up, that means that they're going to be down points during this mid fight here, and K244 will be favored for in terms of the skills here, and it looks like Sky Altar was secured by K244, and they do have a lot of marches around the structure game here. So it looks like they're doing this mixed focus where they do have some people mid, but they also have people at that Sky Altar. And the thing about that Sky Altar is, if you're here at the Sky Altar now, you will not be in the mid fights, meaning that all those all those K244 marches, and we see CPLW starting to go in. War drums used by K244, mystical formations by K244 as well, and it looks like to the death used by CPLW, and early to the death here for the first arc fight. They know how important this arc fight is, because whoever controls this first arc will be able to control the early game tempo here, and I guess dictate how many arcs there will be throughout the match. 10 seconds left until arc spawns. It looks like CPLW is starting to go in here. We have some K244 marches actually standing still in the back here, which will be to CPLW's favor, although we do have some from CPLW's side as well. in terms of stat faces, let's see. It looks like there's more CPLW stat faces here, as Arc has finally spawned, and CPLW gets a first tap. We see the Nevsky to the north, pulling it away, pulling it towards CPLW's side. It's going to go down shortly here, but that is huge for CPLW, allowing for them to pull it towards their side here. Let's see if they're able to take down this XY before it takes before it caps the arc. It looks like they will not, so the XY is counter pulling it towards the K244 side, as it is down. It looks like there are more K244 marches if we look at the dot report. Actually, wow, there are so many CPLW marches around this arc. There you go. CPLW has the arc again. This XY is slowly getting melted. If you do not know, if you are capturing the arc, you are slower and you also take more damage, which is why these arc carriers are getting melted just like that. But it looks like CPLW has advantage here. CPLW definitely, with the split pressure from K244, it's like, hey, do you want your structures, or if you do want this mid fight, they're definitely like, yeah, we want this mid fight. We want to get this arc. So it looks like they're winning this mid fight. It looks like they have the numbers here according to the dots to in this mid fight, but they did lose their Sky Altar, and their Desert Altar is being contested. So if K244 with the limited numbers they have is able to continuously delay this arc, this might be to their favor, as they have 4 altars. And if you do not know, altars are the highest point structure in the game, so you get the most amount of points per minute from altars, and they currently have control of all 4. They have control of all the structures here, actually, as well as the shrine. So this is going to be huge for CPLW. They want to try to make sure that they control this arc as soon as possible, so that they can start rotating to their structures here before K244 gets too big of a lead here. So these marches killing these arc carriers, delaying the arc, and I guess also making these marches by CPLW stay in the middle is actually a huge for them, allowing for them to continuously have pressure on their structures. But it does look like they are finally breaking away with the Arc of Osiris here, with a Guan Yu. Actually, this Guan Yu is going to die again. Wow. How many? There's only like 4 marches left of K244 around this Arc of Osiris. This is probably going to be the pull that allows CPLW to have control of this arc, as we see this Nevsky pull it. But as I said, the Desert Altar and the Sky Altar, the 2 biggest structures in terms of points per minute, is captured by K244, and K244 is actually getting 150 points per minute from the structure, as we see 710 points per minute to 160 points per minute. To illustrate that point, they are definitely, I'm curious to see if CPLW actually wants to hold this arc, or if they want to play the middle game and continue to play that middle game and actually insta-cap this arc, so that they can get another Arc of Osiris up in the middle as fast as possible, because they are currently losing the structure game. This bottom side especially, losing both the Shrine of War here, which they just recaptured, and the Sky Altar. However, it does look like they're able to recover their structures here, and try to regain, at least take away the points per minute from K244, and in 2 minutes regain their points per minute. But it is looking pretty dire in the structure game here. We'll have to see how they do. And there's actually still K244 marches here, interrupting this arc cap, and making sure that they have to stay honest, making sure that they have to keep marches near this arc, or else they will continuously pester and start swarming down the arc carrier. Gonna be interesting to see how CPLW responds here. I'm curious to see, actually, will they capture this arc as the arc falls? Oh wow, he's actually trying to cap the arc. Pretty curious, because that actually resets the timer, but it looks like they won't get the chance to. Yeah, looks like they won't get the chance to. But there is an Edward nearby, so that is another march that is gonna start hitting. I mean, you could see the distraction that this is causing. This is 5-6 marches of CPLW to K244's 2. So it is allowing them to have pressure in other parts of the map here, where these map marches could be at this desert altar. However, they are defending the arc so that they could hold it, while K244 is practically able to walk up to the desert altar without any resistance here, as it does look like CPLW is also walking up to the K244 desert altar. But it looks like K244, because they don't have marches that have to defend an arc in this bottom side, they're able to hold in front of the desert altar. However, for in the inverse for CPLW, their desert altar is getting swarmed down right now. So it's pretty funny because they started swarming the desert altar, so the rally had to walk all the way around, which is not ideal for K244, but that's okay. It looks like they will be able to take down this desert altar. This Jan is falling very, very low, very, very fast. And there you go. The desert altar has flipped to K244's side, as they are up 9.3k points to 5.6k points, which is a huge lead. Even if they cap this arc right now, they still won't be leading in the game. So that's just showing the amount of pressure that K244 has been putting on the structures here, as they have 3 altars yet again. I wonder what the game plan for CPLW is now. Are they trying to stabilize the structures? Because even if they go even with the structures here, which it looks like they're trying to do, like stabilize their structures, if everyone owns their structures, K244 will still be in the lead for this game. So yeah, it's looking tough. It's looking tough for K244 here. Yeah, let's see. They're still putting marches around this. Look how many marches from CPLW side is actually allocated to defending this arc. Like that's quite a couple. Although you could say that there are some K244 marches that are also allocated to pestering them. Like it's not as many as CPLW, so it's a pressure advantage to K244 for sure, and they are holding this desert altar. It looks like the points might tick over to them soon, and they actually captured the sky altar again as well, which is really, really bad for CPLW. And it looks like what K244 actually tapped the arc here. So the timer will reset, but yeah, that just shows that K244 is really, really, really committing to pestering this arc as much as possible, as the points for this desert altar is going to start ticking over to K244 as well. As we check the points per minute again, 330 points per minute to 210 points per minute from CPLW. Yeah, this is looking tough for CPLW. I guess if I were them, I'd probably cap this arc, because they're losing the structure game. But they did use to the death in that last mid fight, so that means they won't have to the death for the rest of the game. While K244 might still have to the death, so that is going to be a big mid advantage here. As all 4 altars, if we check the map in the top right, all 4 altars are being captured by K244 here, and all of the strides as well. Oh my goodness, the structures are falling just like that, and there are so many marches of CPLW around here too. I'm kind of curious as to how K244 was able to capture that with that many CPLW marches that could have march swapped. But it does like CPLW will start taking down this. Oh yeah, the garrison was just sad faced out of the desert altar, so it looks like they will be capturing the desert altar soon. But look at that, K244 march swapping here, making sure that they get as much value. They hold the desert altar for as long as possible, so that CPLW will gain their points of it. CPLW will gain control of it, delay the control of CPLW, and in turn delay their point gain here. So good stuff by K244. I'm thoroughly impressed by their structure game for sure. They know how to fill structures, they know how to defend structures here, and they know how to, I guess, also take away attention from the structures, and kind of like distract them with what they did with the arc, what they did with the obelisk as well, with a bunch of double C marches running straight to the obelisk, allowing for them to get Desert Altar control and kind of stall the Desert Altar cap as much as possible. And that is crazy. Wow, CPLW allowing for them to capture this Desert Altar with this many marches around your Desert Altar. That is insane stuff by K244. They're just able to slip through the cracks and just capture these structures. Like, while CPLW should have full control of them, which is how the game has gotten to this state. Almost double the points, almost quintuple the point gain for K244 here. Yeah, that is crazy stuff from them. As we see, they did finally recapture their Desert Altar, but K244 is still bringing up some marches. I like how they're murder balling here. They're not just going all in and dying one by one. They're getting a mass here. They're probably getting a rally up, and then they're going to push for the rally and try to push the open field here, as CPLW is committed to holding this arc for as long as possible. They're like, they trust their structure game even though they've been losing their structures, which is an interesting choice in my opinion. We'll have to see what happens if they're actually able to recover their structures here, because look at that. Look, they're able to just get full marches and just fill it instantly. Just fill the structure. That's the number one priority when you're trying to hold. Try to fill the structure as much as possible, and that's what K2244 is doing super correctly here. It's just the open field doesn't matter. The open field fighting doesn't matter if you do not have a structure. If like, the whole objective is to capture these structures. So if you're able to fill it, you have to fill it. No matter, it doesn't matter the troop type, all that kind of stuff. Just try to fill it as much as possible. As CPLW finally recaptures their Sky Altar, and it looks like they finally have their 2 altars under control. Although they do not have their Shrine of War over here, but they are currently trying to recapture it. So yeah, it looks like they're trying to just stabilize the structure game here. Try to recapture their structures. And then once they capture the structures, they'll start capturing the arc and looking mid. And they finally capture the Arc of Osiris here. There you go. 8 minutes until arc respawns, as there is a rally, and Nevsky. And Nevsky who? I wonder who the pair is with this Nevsky. I guess we could check the battle reports here afterwards. But yeah, Nevsky Joan from K244. It looks like they're still opting for that Nevsky Joan combo. As this Zenobia is getting swarmed down, it looks like this Desert Altar is going to fall here to K244 yet again. And this Sky Altar is okay. It looks like the K244, yeah, this is what I'm talking about in terms of allocating the right amount of resources. So they're not sending a bunch of open field marches here. These open field marches know sometimes the best defense is offense, because it means that the opponent will have to defend their structures with marches rather than attack. So they're okay with trading this Shrine of Life pressure with Sky Altar pressure, and they could just fill this structure as much as possible. As we see the K244 Desert Altar or the CPLW Desert Altar being swarmed down by them, trying to recapture. And there you go, yet again, filling that garrison. Super impressive stuff. It is a JAD YSS the garrison here, so not the ideal garrison, but at least they do have a garrison, and they are filling, and they are swarming down the swarmers here. Good stuff from them. However, it looks like this structure is holding super well, but most of the marches around here look like they're pretty low, so they can't actually march swap here. Oh, there you go. It looks like it's finally about to go down. Oh, they just put in another march. You saw that uptick in health. That means someone filled the structure. It looks like this. They tried to march swap there, but it looks like they'll just reswarm it again. And wow, they have a rally. What is this? I guess they're sad facing their marches on the obelisk as much as possible. Because the mid fight it's 6 minutes. They are starting to go mid. So K244 actually rotate very well earlier than most teams. Most teams you see them rotate around 4 minutes. But K244 really rotating, not even starting to rotate, being there at 6 minutes, making sure that they have this mid control. And because they do have structure control, so they're like, okay, if we're controlling the structures already, let's just go mid early. as we see a sentry being put down by CPLW, trying to make sure. I'm not too sure why they put a sentry here. Maybe this one's about to expire, but they already have vision that there are K244 marches around the Temple of Osiris here. As we see, they finally recaptured their Desert Altar. It looks like they're allocating resources to recapture the Shrine of Life. But as we see, this K244 Sky Altar team, or Sky Altar, the Sky Altar team, or Sky Altar lane, heavily focused on the Sky Altar, making CPLW have to allocate these open field marches. And I said, if you send marches over here, it's like a 2-minute walk, 2.5-minute walk if you're infantry to this Temple of Osiris. So if you're dedicated here, that means that you will not be relevant for the mid fight. So all these marches by K244 and CPLW will not be in this mid fight. But it looks like it's actually benefiting K244 because they are able to hold and capture the Sky Altar while CPLW starts sending all their marches to the mid lane here. I'm curious actually. They only have 4 or 5 cities around this obelisk. Are they top focused? Oh, CPLW only have 16 people in the match still. Okay. I'm like, why are there so many people out of this this obelisk? Okay, they actually have a numbers advantage now. It looks like some people started leaving, so that's why there's not that many cities around their obelisks here. Which makes sense. And that's why they don't have a mid fight. So it does look like K244 was able to route CPLW here, but it looks like this top team is at least trying to learn how to hold their structures. And I guess that's one thing about Ark of Osiris, is you could definitely use these matches as a learning opportunity. So which is why I'm kind of surprised to see that even though that they were losing, CPLW actually having their players out of the match here. But yeah, really good stuff from K244. I guess some notes, if you're trying to learn anything from this match, is structure game is so important, and being able to not only capture the structure. Oh, master strategy from K244. Where are they going? Master strategies is a new teleport skill. In case you guys don't know, in the desert's new format of the KVK, of the Osiris League here, it allows you to teleport 30 marches, and it looks like they all teleported on top of this obelisk, and they're gonna start swarming down the obelisk. It does have a Flavius garrison, and they also use war drums just to make sure that they're able to capture this obelisk here. Really entertaining stuff from K244. They're definitely having some fun here, and CPLW did fill it once, but yeah, there's just too many marches around this obelisk for them to hold it. So K244 looks like they were able to capture the obelisk, and they're probably going to try to hold and maybe swarm down some cities here, as they are continuing to dominate this match. I'm curious to see what they do. Yeah, they're starting to swarm down this 78 mil power player here already. So it looks like there's no arc contest, so they're just going for these obelisks here. There's only 3 players here, so they'll definitely be able to capture this obelisk, no problem. They were able to master strategies, the teleport skill, for the Raging Sands Osiris League. I said KVK, apologies. Osiris League mode. They're able to teleport here and display the new skill. I'm gonna be very interested to see the playoffs and see if anyone actually uses master strategies to pick up a cheeky arc like we saw in week 2 last week. So it's the master strategies and these new skills, and the fog is going to be very pivotal towards the playoffs, which I believe will start after these matches in the upcoming weeks. So but yeah, they're just swarming down these cities. We got a Jan. I'm not too sure what the secondary is. There's so many skill animations around. Is there a why did I see a bow? I'm guessing so it's Jan YSS? And then we got a Charles. Oh, this person's solo swarming. There you go. They're like, yeah, I want to get all the KP for myself. I'm gonna solo swarm a city, and it actually looks like they're winning, which is crazy. I guess this person is only 66 mil. So as we see, K244 dominating this open field and these structures. Every single structure, all red. It's full red. So yeah, CPLW definitely waved the white flag after they lost their structures here. And yeah, they're starting to teleport in K244. I would be pretty, yeah, like they're starting to get their subs in here to get that 10k, which is really good actually. You want to make sure if you're winning a game to this magnitude, if you have 10k, I'd probably say don't swarm. You want to make sure your whole team gets to 10k, because if you don't know, if you get 10k points, you get the 10 gold heads, which is, you know, the more people that get the 10 gold heads for your team, you know, you'll be able to invest those gold heads into commanders and such, which may be beneficial for the playoffs. So Justinian, HQ, those kinds of commanders, if you plan to use them, or if you don't have like Trajan, for example, just having the amount of gold heads in your back pocket is always going to be useful here. And as we see CPLW starting to not CPLW, K244 escorting the arc back to their outpost here. So yeah, this is why K244 is seen as one of the contenders for this realm, and you could definitely see that they were really organized with how they were able to fill their structures, how they were able to I guess exert pressure here. And that's why pressure in Osiris League is so pivotal here, because if you dictate where the fights are, for example, they in the early game with that obelisk push that they did in this top obelisk with a bunch of double C marches, it kind of forced CPLW to respond with a bunch of open field, and they were prepared for it. But what that meant was they didn't have positioning around their desert altar, meaning since they didn't have positioning around their desert altar, their first cap there was super delayed, and it actually affected their rotation to mid for that first arc. So the reason why K244 was able to win that first arc pretty or not, they didn't actually win, but the reason why they were out, like the fight was even close, because K244 actually, I feel like they didn't really go that mid focus for that first arc. They actually like had a lot of players around their sky altar. They had players still running towards the desert altar. So it's kind of like a split focus where it's like you kind of put your opponent in a situation where they have to commit to something for a trade, for example. So it's like, all right, we're gonna trade our structures for mid. But the fact that K244 was able to stall mid for that long, continuously hitting that arc carrier, making sure that I think there were like 6-7 different arc carriers all the way up until the obelisk, meaning that CPLW marches had to escort that arc all the way up to the obelisk, which is, you know, pressure that could have been used elsewhere. So yeah, we'll have to see. Looks like 9 players left. Let's see if these players in the bottom of or the subs from K244 will actually be able to get their 10k. Are they at the gate already? Are they gate? No, they're not there yet. Okay. It looks like CPLW is like, all right, let's try to hold one structure here. And as they are swarming down, I think that he started out at like 130 mil. They got instant teleported off. I was actually told a life hack: if you don't want to get teleported off, you could actually gem heal your wall, and that allows you to, because as soon as your wall gets burnt in Osiris and Ark of Osiris, it actually starts ticking down, and once it starts ticking down, that means you're gonna get instant teleported. But if you want to stay in a spot, you can actually gem heal your wall, allowing you to stay in that specific spot even though you get swarmed down. So if you want to get swarmed down again, for example, he's 110 mil, so they still had troops in their city to at least deal some damage. Although it's not consequential now, maybe in a different match that might be useful. So but yeah, they're just They want the map to be all red. Look at all the lines here. That's definitely the call. We want the map to be all red. As I take a drink of water here, they got a Attila garrison. Yeah, that outpost is getting swarmed down, but they have like one player just walking around in circles, just having some fun, trying to stay here, and we got 6 people left. 6 versus 28. That's what happens for these games, though. And in case you guys missed it in the beginning, this is actually, both teams are actually 2-2 in the group. So as we can tell, it looks like, I'm not gonna fake like, oh, this could be anyone's game. K244 definitely won this game. They definitely deserve respect here, and yeah, they're gonna be the 1 seed for this group. So they're going to be the 1 seed. CPLW is still going to make it to the playoffs at a 2-1 record. Both of these teams are making the playoffs. This game was to dictate who was the 1st seed, who was the 2nd seed. So CPLW will still be in the top 16. Because the other 2 teams that they versed are 0-2. So that means, yeah, these 2 teams will be in the playoffs. CPLW will definitely have a hard road ahead of them. Because that means that they will be fighting the 1 seed, at least for the first playoff game, of a different group. So I'm kind of, it'll be interesting to see if they'll be able to. It'll be interesting to see if this is just how strong K244 is, or if and to see if CPLW will be able to perform better in that playoff scenario, where it's going to be 1 game elimination, so it's going to be, upsets are, especially with the fog in Raging Sands, upsets are potentially going to happen, right? So yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. And like, they're starting to walk towards the gate now. There you go. They're starting to walk towards the gate now. Are these the players that need points? I don't think so. But yeah, 1. So this is what happened. This is the maximum amount of points you can get from Osiris League. Let's check how many. Yeah, they have. Actually, it's not the maximum because they just captured an outpost. So let's add 30 to it. So 1,180 points per minute is the maximum amount of points you can get from Ark of Osiris. We'll have to see when this outpost gets captured. But yeah, like, this is this is a very, very stompy type of game. It looks like they got a sub in here, which is why the sub is trying to get out of the city and try to get some points. Get that what do you call it, 10k for them. But I saw that they're fielding some siege, so they might not have as many troops. Yeah, they're at 66 million. I'm kind of curious. I don't know if any of these kingdoms are in KVK, and that might, I believe CPLW is in a KVK, which might, factor to the low troop counts here, and the kind of low-ish power that we saw overall for an ARC team. Like, we saw some people starting with about like 78 million, which is, ideally you want to be at the 100 mil, but like 90 mil is reasonable. 85 mil. At least have 5 T5 marches, and then if you don't have the power, then at least you can use some speed ups to heal them. But yeah, it's there you go. 1,180 points, I believe, is the maximum amount of points that you can get from an Ark of Osiris match. And yeah, there you go. All the structures now giving points to K244. 2244 is a force to be reckoned with, man. They were in the finals last Osiris League, losing to GV77. So yeah, I'm curious to see. I don't think they versed. They were not in the same realm as 60GT last season, or Web, or 60MX. So it's going to be interesting to see them against those top tier teams, because they're definitely, at least from this performance here, they look like a very well organized team. I'm curious about the skills, because a lot of the teams I've been watching, I've been casting throughout the 3 weeks, I've been using the new Raging Sand skills. but then I believe they use like the older ones, so it'll be interesting to see if they continue to use like mystic formations and war drums and such. But yeah, they are a top team for sure. Like, I guess some learning points here. Structure game is super important, and I don't know if that's split focus from K244. I'm just going to talk about future matchups because this game's 14 minutes left. There's like 6 people from CPLW, 25 people from K244. Arc of Osiris is going to spawn in 10 seconds, but they have, I guess this is their arc carrier. Maybe their arc carrier wants to get the achievement. I think there are like there are rankings for arc captures and such, so their arc carrier is going to get a lot of some free arc capture points here. But yeah, K244, like the way that they're able to, the pressure that they're able to put out against CPLW and kind of dictating where the fights were is a really good testament to, you know, how important being in the offensive is. Because if we saw the double C's walking up to this obelisk and the amount of marches that CPLW put to counter it allowed for K244 to contest the desert altar and have tempo of like, okay, like now we have pressure on their desert altar. Like, are we going to rotate mid? Are we going to continue to push their structures? They chose to kind of do both, which I'm kind of curious to see how that'll work against other teams such as 60GT and Web, because like that they essentially made CPLW make the decision, like, do we want to hold their structures or do we want to hold mid, which is kind of like, and in my opinion, CPLW, like, they couldn't hold their structures 1v1 against this K244 team. They kind of overmatched here. If it's an even matchup in terms of like open fielding, or even if they have the commander and gear disadvantage, because, you know, 60GT is going to have the best of the best stuff here. I'm going to be curious as to see how they win the game there, because this is it's been a stomp, but yeah, it's going to be super interesting, these upcoming matches here, as we see the Arc of Osiris was captured in this outpost. There is going to be another arc. It'll actually be capturable, actually. Yeah, it'll be capturable with 8 minutes till the arc spawns, and then 12 minutes till the arc the game ends. So let's see if everyone was able to get their 10k. 10k? Ooh, looks like no. But it looks like the CPLW individual that teleported in late was able to get their 10k, so that's solid. What is it to talk about? What would we even talk about? Future matches, I guess, right? Yeah, I was told this game was going to be pretty close, but yeah, K244 really showing that they were a cut above here, as we see this, yeah, they're getting swarmed down. So what happens here is, if they're not outside, you actually can't target them. And there you go. Now that they finally got out of the range that you could target them. But if they're inside of this pass, if they're behind the pillars, you actually can't target them. So they could target you, but you can't target them. It's kind of like pass fighting. Pretty inefficient to pass fight, and as it is pretty inefficient to fight near their spawn. But there you go. Hidden sentry used by K244. I'm not too sure what they're trying to see, but, you know, just having some fun. They're provisioning too. There you go. I guess if you're not getting the points from getting kills, games where the opponents don't show up is tough. You know, those games where there's provisioning and such. So is this? No, I guess they're just in a node. I thought this was Gecko trying to get their 10k, but maybe it's not a priority for them. But yeah, I guess one thing for CPLW, like, they could hopefully they can look at the VOD and see that in the future matches they had a lot of open field marches, and I think what happened was they had a lot of open field around their altars and their structures here. but they didn't really march swap as much, which is super crucial to holding a structure. Like the K244 was able to sneak cap structures when CPLW had the open field advantage around the Desert Altar, open field advantage around the Shrine of Life, for example, which should not happen, because if you have a healthy march near a structure and it's getting swarmed down, that healthy march has to go in that structure right away, so that you can hold the structure for as long as possible to get as much points as possible, which was not done here. It looks like there are still some CPLW marches. This is going to be the minigame now. Well, K244, are they going to be able to keep the whole map red? Are they going to be able to keep the whole map red, or are they going to cap and give up an outpost here? It looks like we have some CPLW marches walking up. Oh, there we go. They're like, yeah, they're putting the garrison in the outpost now. Like, yeah, we got to keep this whole map red. Something that would be annoying is, imagine if they just sent a cav rally to the outpost in the very back over here. There's probably barely any cities here, and these cities are probably, I mean, this is an R carrier, but everyone else might be AFK. They just set an outpost rally all the way to the back and then have them respond to it, maybe, because they're kind of expecting this these marches to walk down towards this outpost here. Wow, that Herald lived for so long. Is that just me? That I thought the Herald died a while ago. But yeah, that Herald was up for a while here. Yeah, it looks like CPLW galloping down to this outpost of his sets, trying to recapture at least one structure. Can we get one structure blue? It looks like there are a lot of low marches here. I wonder, are they starting to bring some people? HL is starting to bring some marches down here. It's like a 1v2. Oh no. Is K244 going to be able to keep the whole map red? Or is this the start of CPLW's comeback? Yeah, they're probably like, all the leadership is probably like in a different call talking about next strategies, all that kind of stuff. Like, I've been in part of an ARC team, and then there's always that post-game brief. But because the game ended so early for them, maybe they had it early, or maybe some people just started, going about their day. Ooh, it's only a CC in there. It's takeable. Didn't that Jan go in there? I guess they didn't garrison swap. It doesn't really matter, right? This is CPLW's opening. 7 minutes left. One structure. Is it gonna happen? I think it's gonna happen. This is a morale win for CPLW. Cap that structure. HL is just 1v9 over here. That Boudica Liang putting in work though. Look at the sad faces. 2 sad faces for him. Oh my goodness. A one-man army over here. Oh, is that a... That is a con. Is that T1 cavalry over here? Yeah. They got a con with T1 cavalry. There you go. HL literally solo holding this this outpost. It looks like they're bringing back their Nevsky. It's a 3v2 right now. The AoE from Liang. This is where you can definitely see the value of AoE. Look at the red marches from CPLW side, just with the AoE from Liang and Joan of Arc. That's why, like, open field AoE skill damage is the way to go. It's just so strong. Like, you're not even they didn't even start hitting the con. Oh, now they're starting to hit the con. But like, the con was red just by getting hit by AoE. As finally the Boudica Liang gets hit, but yeah, that's just like displaying the power of AoE there. And I guess that's also one thing that I saw is K244's march composition was definitely favored in these fights. It looks like they have a lot of the meta combos and pairs. CPLW, like they had a lot of it, but there's some, I believe, that were not, the best of the best. And when you get into playoffs, you're going to be versing the best of the best. So that is going to be an interesting take from them, as we have 4 minutes left. The arc is about to 4 minutes 48 seconds left. Arc's going to spawn in 50 seconds here, as the arc character Nats is going to get more points. Like, they brought the T1, they're like, yeah, we want to capture this arc as fast as possible. We'll have to see how fast. I'm curious to see how fast a Belisarius with Saladin, I think that's a Saladin, will be able to carry an arc from the Temple of Osiris to the outpost. As they're back. HL has their work cut out for them here. Ooh. Okay. Let's see how long the it didn't even spawn yet. I thought the arc spawned. I got baited by this message here. There you go. King at Etzazil versus HL here. Looks like HL is putting us in some work, but there's just too many marches. It's like 10v2 over here. Although they are going to be able to sat face a march, so let's see how long this arc. I'm curious. Wow, 1.5 minutes with T1. Maybe T1 arc carrier is the way to go. No, I'm joking. You definitely do not want to carry with T1. It's going to melt too fast. But yeah, there you go. King Etzazil here, as well as one extra march from a friend. I believe this is Attila Takeda. Look at the power. Look at this Boudica Liang just putting in work here. Oh my gosh. Wait, it's gonna sad face like 4 marches. It's actually gonna sad face 4 marches, allowing for oh my. Yeah, this HL person is actually MVP. Like they got 177k points just with like 3 marches. Looks like Alicia's coming through with a Boudica Liang themselves. Oh my gosh. They're literally just march swapping open field. Like, all right, the Boudica Liang, you take a shift. Then we have the Nev Joan take a shift. As we see the arc getting captured from they just running around the arc carrier. Please let me have the arc, please. It's like, nah, I need my points. That's funny. But yeah, like we got the Nev Joan here starting to put in some work. The Nev Joan definitely is more squishy. I'm pretty surprised that the Nev Joan is more squishier than the Boudica with Liang. But yeah, Boudica Liang coming up. CPLW, just swarm the structure. Trust. I believe this is your one bastion of hope. It's a free win if you get the structure, right? I'm playing. Okay, HL bringing up the Boudica with Liang. Boudica Liang, probably the best archer pair in the game in my opinion. Nev Joan is also really, I think, is still the best cavalry pair. So yeah, these are the top tier marches here. And I'm guessing top tier gear as well, which is why there's such a struggle with Saladin with Siege, right? So, but yeah, like let's see. Let's see the AoE. Okay. Oh no. One sad face. How many sad faces do you think this Boudica can collect? Let's see. Oh my gosh, they're all gonna sad face. Imagine one skill cycle, all 4 of them sad face at the same time. That'd be so satisfying. Oh, there you go. 2 sad faces. I like them. I like the targeting here. 3 sad faces. Notice how they're not even hitting the low marches. Are hitting like the healthy ones because they're like, yeah, we could kill it with AoE regardless. 5 sad faces. Oh my gosh. And then the Nevsky's back, so yeah, they're not going to be able to capture the structure. 8 seconds left of this game. GG's K244 with the dominating win to the point where I had to cast a Boudica 1v9ing Boudica Liang 1v9, as we have most valuable player, CPLW RP Toto with 273,000 points. Good stuff from them. As we see, units healed, a lot of units healed from K244. So they definitely put up the best fight that they could here with CPLW with 2.4 million units healed. So that was probably during the beginning of the game when it was still up for grabs. But yeah, there we go. That is the first game of the match. K244, congratulations on the win. CPLW, good fight. They will have a chance at playoffs as a second seed, while K244 will be the first seed for playoffs. So great stuff. It's been Plato Gaming. I'm Plato Gaming, a content creator and caster for Rise of Kingdoms. We do have some more matches at 15 UTC. Be sure to subscribe to the Rise of Kingdoms channel for more Ark of Osiris coverage, and we'll see you